That's my cue. I am Sandy.
First of all, we want to thank you all for coming and for being here for Jeremy and before Jeff asks you to raise your glasses and toast for Jeremy and Kelsey, I first just want to speak to them from us for just a minute. Jeremy, we're just so proud of you. And I want to say, we don't often get to say really out loud how proud you are of one of your kids when you have 4 kids, because even if you try to be even for every one thing they hear about themselves, they hear 3 things about other people, and really focus on that. So, but since this is Jeremy and Kelsey's weekend, I think it's okay for me to be able to say, Jeremy, we're really proud of you. And Jeremy has always made us proud. You know, when he was 10 years old, he went to space camp. And
Cross country all by himself.
and he won the Right Stuff Award. And I think they were right. They knew, even when he was 10, that Jeremy has the right stuff. He knows how to be a success. He really puts everything into anything he does. ASU gave him an Outstanding Alumni Award like 2 years after he graduated, which I thought was a little premature, but obviously they knew the same thing the space camp people knew, and that is that he has what it takes to really be successful and really work hard, and he does really work hard. And those of you who know him well know that he is, I won't say a perfectionist, but he's very particular. He knows how he wants things done, how he thinks should be done. And so I just have to say, Kelsey, I know that you're not perfect, because no one is, and God knows I wouldn't want to put that on you. But obviously you are imperfect in exactly the right ways that fit his special needs for being particular. So I just want to say, Jeremy, we are just so proud of you that you were smart enough to pick exactly the particularly imperfect person that you did in Kelsey. And Kelsey, I just want to tell you personally that you are an answer to the prayer that I first said the day Jeremy was born, and have been praying ever since then, that God was somewhere out in the world making him a perfect man. And Ron and Carol, I'm telling you, I prayed for you guys so many times, at the times when Jeremy was not making us particularly proud, that there was a family somewhere out in the world that was raising who would be his wife, and was raising him in a way that would be proud of him, even in the times that we worked. And we've prayed for your family for so long. We are so pleased that our families are being joined. Kelsey, you're a blessing not only to Jeremy, but to this entire family. Joshua, Jennifer, Shelby, we're also blessed to have you in our lives. And we just really appreciate your blessing. Follow that.
Thank you. So, if you will raise your glass, here's to Jeremy and Kelsey, who have proven that long-distance relationships can work and do work. Here's to Jeremy and Kelsey that have proven that meeting on a bus somewhere, I'm not quite sure where it was, does work. Here's to Jeremy and Kelsey that have proven that sharing late-night movies and popcorn together, even though they're 861 miles apart, chatting video-wise, does work. And here's to Jeremy and Kelsey proving that falling in love with the rest of your lives most definitely does work. And here's to Jeremy and Kelsey wishing you all the adventures in the world. Cheers.
Okay, now I'll go tell them to bring him.
If I could have your attention, please. Oh, gosh. I didn't do it. I'd like to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us tonight. Carol and I think we should...
Maybe you did.
I think we should take a second to really, a round of applause for my wife, Carol. And I do have some business cards printed up, and she will be glad to come and do a wedding for you too. You got to pay for this somehow. Anyway, we would like to thank all of you for joining us. Our family and friends from all over the country. We have family from Seattle to Washington, D.C., to Tennessee, to Minneapolis, you name it. Great. Cedar Rapids, wonderful. Our friends, we have Galesville friends here and stuff. It's so good to see them. Our friends from West Bend that came to visit. No, you don't need to laugh. Later. Anyway, our friends from, let's see, where else? Galesville. Anyway, a lot of friends. I also would like to welcome our newest members of our extended family, the Art family. What a wonderful, wonderful group. The brother I wish I would have had. No, Just
That wasn't part of it. No.
we do too. Oh, okay. Anyway, at this time, if you would please join me and raise your glasses. We'd like to give our first toast tonight to the new couple. I have to get my glass. To Kelsey and Jeremy. Or Chelsea and Jeremy. Congratulations, best wishes, blessings, and a happy married life together. Cheers, cheers. And that's it.
Hi everyone. If I could have your attention up here for a quick sec. So public speaking isn't my jam, so I'm going to do the best I can with it. I ask for forgiveness. And a piece of paper. Hi, my name is Courtney Jones, and I am Kelsey's big sister. Thank you, I worked hard on that. Now, before we officially get into this whole speech deal, I have one insider story to tell. And everything I read in preparation for how to give a speech at a wedding, you're not supposed to do this. But my jam is kind of ask for forgiveness later, so we're just going to roll with that. During the speech, I will refer to Kelsey as Kiki. This story dates back to when we were about, I don't know, like what, yay big? Yeah? Okay. And of course, finding a way to get under each other's skin, which is something that most good sisters do that are 18 months apart. She had found a book in the library entitled, I think, Corky the Blind Seal. Is that right? Yep. Okay. And decided that that must become my new nickname. So naturally, as any big sister would do, I had to retaliate. So I turned on the TV and found an educational program, and it was called Kiki the Witch. And to my 8-year-old mind, it seemed fitting to me at the time. Thankfully, my nickname has faded away and is also not looking to come back in any way, shape, or form. But Kiki has stuck around. And I think even a few of her crew from the Galesville crowd might have picked up on it and use it occasionally, which I'm proud of. So I feel good about that one. But okay, insider story done, I promise. As I said earlier, I'm Kiki's big sister chronologically, but I've said for years that she is more of a big sister to me. Big sisters have a very important job to do. They really have to get their younger siblings ready to go out into the world. And we have to toughen up the little so that they can really thrive and do their best. That part I think I did pretty well on my own. Like think about it, Kelsey, like all those years of me being an instigator, saying I'm not touching you, and then hitting you and running around the house. you know, I really think that helped you find the calm when dealing with some intense people. Is that correct? Yeah. Well, you're welcome. Big sisters also, I've learned, need to set an example. This is where Kiki comes in. She's been a shining example of me of how to live a life full of compassion and kindness, determination, and love. Let's start with the compassion and kindness first. I'm sure all of us in this room can name a time when Kiki has been by their side, unwavering and steadfast in her loyalty to you. Kelsey, look around this room, and Jeremy. These people are here because of the compassion and kindness that you've shown them. I've heard stories. Sorry.
It's okay, it runs in the family.
All right. Take a drink. Thank you. No. Respectfully declined. I've heard stories from people saying that they wouldn't have gotten through the class without Kelsey's diligent studying habits, which I'm sure we're all aware of. Also, a breakup was made easier because she was there to listen and give advice. I've reached out to her many times seeking these wise words about what to do in certain situations that life throws my way. And her response is always calm, direct, and encouraging. Let's move on to the determination and commitment. When Kiki sets her mind to something, it is going to happen. Whether you want it to or not, it is going to happen. This trend started pretty young when she began fighting the standard educational system. I believe it was Mom trying to get you to go to preschool, and your direct quote was, "I don't want any M&Ms and I don't want to go to preschool." So obviously that didn't work out for her, but she held fast, which I was proud of. Her study habits are another example of her determination and commitment. Kiki has a system for studying. It's do it right and often. And her determination and commitment in love. The commitment that both she and Jeremy had to make a 3-year long-distance relationship work is the stuff of rom-com dreams. Movies and popcorn dates via Skype, scheduled phone dates nightly, and trips to DC, Des Moines, and all over the U.S. They made it work until they could be reunited under the DC cherry blossoms. Commitment. And finally, love. The relationship that both Kiki and Jeremy have created and nurtured is an example of the power of love. The thoughtful gestures and kind words that I've seen them give, exchanged via social media, which I know very little about, text, phone, or face-to-face is inspiring. Kiki was already such a loving and kind person before she met Jeremy, and now that they are together, I see something even more. I see what happens when two people choose to take on the world together and say, "I got you." Those people look like this, and they smile at each other just like that. Jeremy, I couldn't be happier to have you in our family. The Jones crew is a crew, and can get a little rowdy and possibly sassy at times. But you fit right in the entire way. You made it. Congratulations. You've shown me how to use humor in little moments to make someone stay special and to make someone feel special. Your family has literally opened their doors to me and shown me what a true community looks like, and I'm very honored to be connected to all of you. And Kiki, thanks for being the big sister I always wanted, and showing me what real compassion, determination, and love looks like. Your examples have made me and everybody in this room a better person. There was a quote that I found that really summed it up. There's no better friend than a sister, and there's no better sister than you. So I ask everyone to raise your glass and toast Kiki and Jeremy.
Kiki.
And I get to follow that.
Yeah, there we go. Hey.
My name is Pete Seat, and I am the best man. I like to emphasize that, best man. But I want to take you back to just a few short weeks ago. Jeremy and myself and Todd back there and a couple of other guys who couldn't be here this evening found ourselves in the Big Apple in New York City to celebrate Jeremy's bachelor party. Now, if you've ever been there, you know a little bit about New York City. I mean, the world is your oyster. You can do anything and everything. You can take a helicopter ride of Manhattan. You can run through Central Park. You can go to a Broadway show. So we said to Jeremy on Friday night, Jer, it's on us. It's a blank check. Whatever you want to do, let's do it. And without a hint of irony, he looked at us and said, I could go for a bagel. Now, he didn't ask for the finest muffins and bagels in all the land. He asked for a single bagel, nondescript. It could have been from a street vendor in Manhattan. That's all Jeremy wanted. And when I think of the Jeremy Art Experience, that's what I think of. With the exception of his obsession with the Nationals and the Dodgers, and his editing of videos, and his meticulous ironing of shirts every flipping morning, I can't tell you how many times I've woken up in a hotel room to find Jeremy hovering next to me, ironing a shirt. With those, I said I liked it. No, I didn't. With those few exceptions, he's a pretty chill guy. And I've come to know that in me 11 years, 5 months, 29 days, 4 hours, and 3 minutes that I've known him. Give or take a couple of minutes. The first time I remember meeting him was actually in Tucson, Arizona. I was the state chairman of the College Republicans there, going to the University of Arizona. He was going to Arizona State. And I was stepping down from being state chairman, and Jeremy came to the event. And I said hi to him, and we chatted for a little bit. And I was like, oh, how was your drive? He said, I didn't drive. I said, well, how did you get here? It's like an hour and a half drive. Did you walk? He's like, oh, no, I flew down here with a buddy. Do you remember that? He flew down there. And it was weird. It stuck in my head. Weird. Jeremy, weird. Flew down. And it stuck in my head. But what I've always remembered, we've gone on so many adventures together. We've, not just a couple weeks ago, I've been to New York before a couple of times. One time, we actually went for New Year's Eve and stood in the shivering cold. I wanted to bail like nothing else I've ever wanted to do in my life. I couldn't stand it 5 hours in. And Jeremy kept saying, you can do it. You can do it. I was like on my knees dying, and he said, you can do it. You can do it. The ball dropped. I ran somewhere and threw up. We went to Boston to sing Sweet Caroline at a Red Sox game and to go to both locations of Cheers. We've been to Vegas, 5 or 6 times now? Doing crazy things. We've hung out backstage with Jay Leno for about a half hour, telling jokes. Well, mainly Jay was telling jokes. We just kind of sat there like a bunch of fools. Mike has been there with us. We've danced on the roof of the Rio more than once. But it's the unexpected moments with Jeremy that I really, really remember. You know, I mentioned Tucson, Arizona. It wasn't really until a couple months after that, I think it was September of 2005, I was at a conference in Richmond, Virginia, and out of nowhere, Jeremy walked into the room. And I looked at him and I was like, I know that guy from somewhere. And we spoke for a few minutes, and he said, well, when I'm done with this job, he was a field representative for the College Republican National Committee. He said, when I'm done with this job, we should hang out, because I'll be living in D.C. I said, okay. Well, it turned out that was really where our friendship blossomed. We ran into each other unexpectedly at Wrigley Field at a Cubs game once, not long ago, and we've had let's say I had it was a meeting, I guess, with you in Des Moines, Iowa, on a Friday morning. Turned out it was the day after he met a girl on a bus, and he wouldn't stop talking about her. Literally, would not stop talking about her. And I admittedly was skeptical about this little rendezvous, but when he told me that the girl had tweeted at him, I knew it was legit. I was like, there's something here. And here we are in La Crosse, Wisconsin. It was more than legit. And as has been said a couple of times this evening, there has been no more perfect union. You guys, in more ways than one, complement each other. And it is an absolute honor for Catherine and myself to be a part of this special day, to be a part of your lives, to be here tonight. And Courtney told me I only get 90 seconds to give this speech when I was promised 30 minutes followed by an extensive Q&A in exchange for my time. So I'm going to ask you to quickly just indulge me in 2 toasts this evening. We'll get to the big show in a second, but every single time that Mike, Jeremy, and myself are together, we do a special toast. You'll either be appalled by this or you'll enjoy it. I don't really care how you come down. But I would like you to please raise your glass and toast the one and only individual that brought Mike, Jeremy, and myself together, the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. You can boo, you can cheer, I don't care. The first time we did that, we always do it at Caesar's Palace in a bar off to the side. We did that, and the waiter started cracking up, and we all looked at him, we're like, you're not laughing for the same reason we're laughing, just trust us on this one. But the second toast is the one that matters. So if you would please raise your glass as we all drink from the keg of glory in the name of Jeremy Art and Kelsey Art. Congratulations.
I'm just putting up the Nationals rally towel for my brief remarks. Kelsey told me what to say, so I could have the towel up. So first, and this is really not a toast, this is just a thanks. After I planned the very extensive engagement and kept it secret and worked with everyone from the Speaker of the House to the Capitol Police and Kelsey's boss, I really thought after that the planning of the wedding would be easy because we were working as a team. And little did I know the engagement was the easy part, I thought. It was just, this has been over a year of planning every detail. It has gone extremely well, but I had absolutely no idea how many details there were. So first, there are thanks. First of all, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, thank you for everything. It has just been beautiful. We couldn't ask for a better day in the evening. To my parents, Mom and Dad, thank you for being so easy every time I call and just going, yep, sure, whatever. So when I said, you know what, we want to do laser tag the night before. You're like, yep, sure, whatever. I'm sure you hung up the phone and he's like, playing laser tag. And so we had a great time. Thank you. It's been really easy. I wasn't sure what it'd be like with a family on the other side of the country, but it's been beautiful. Thank you. As Kelsey just said, we want to thank everyone. Some people drove a short distance. People came from Washington State, from Washington, D.C., from California. It really means a lot for us to be here, for all of you to be here. It's, the baseball playoffs, it's the middle of the week, and we really, really do appreciate it. We know how hard it is. So, yes. So the one thing I'll say is Kelsey and I both have a love for Garth Brooks. We went to a couple concerts this year, and my little gift to her is we're going to see him again next month in Richmond. And there's the song Unanswered Prayers, and there were several times before I met Kelsey that I was praying for any number of things. And I realized we were both at the Republican National Convention in 2008. I made several trips to Iowa, and had we met sooner, I'm not sure if I would have been the version of myself that I wanted you to meet the first time. And if I'd met you sooner, it may have been illegal. So, so we met just at the right time, because I think if we'd met 5 years later, someone else would have scooped you up because they wouldn't have let you go. And so I am extremely lucky. I am extremely thankful for the unanswered and now the answered prayer. And so thank you all so much for everything, for coming, for your love and support. And now I get to do the best thing, which is say that there are cupcakes in the back. And so please help yourself to cupcakes, not too many, because I need at least 3 or 4. And we'll see. And then the dancing will start shortly. And have a great evening. We will really cherish this forever. So thank you so much.